What's going on YouTube? So late last year, we were at the unveil of the all-new Crown Signia, the latest addition in the US to the Crown lineup. And now we are finally behind the wheel of this new model to sample everything it has to offer. So should you trade in your RAV4 or Venza for this upscale SUV? Well, let's go ahead and find out. All right, so let's kick things off here with the exterior design. Now, with this Crown Signia, you heard me say in the introduction, upscale. And that really is kind of the theme of this vehicle, is making it a very upscale Crown experience here in the US. But it's also very different to the Crown that we have right now, the Crown Sedan. This model is going to go for a lot more of a subdued look overall. For instance, you can't get the bi-tone color scheme, and also up in the front, the grille is using a lot more body color. So you'll see that this goes all the way across here, fully in the body color. It actually has a very Lexus-like appearance in the front, if you ask me. Now, in terms of our lighting, that's another thing that's very distinct with this Crown Signia. So up at the top, this is your daytime running light and turn signal indicator, just kind of running across through there. This part here is actually just an accent. The light itself ends right there. And then your headlight itself is down here in this separated housing. So we have standard projector LED headlights on both trim levels of this Crown Signia, which will be available in just XLE and limited trims. If you choose the limited though, that's going to get you auto leveling with these headlights. No fog lights will be offered on any model though. Now, before I move into the wheels, I do want to talk a little bit about your ground clearance. So this model is going to be setting at 6.7 inches of ground clearance, which is more ground clearance than the Crown Sedan, but also not a tremendous amount of ground clearance for an SUV. That's one of the things that helps this have a very sleek profile and also be very easy to get into and out of as well. Now, talking about our wheels, XLE will come with 19-inch alloy wheels. This Limited comes with 21-inch alloy wheels, which certainly stand out a lot. I like the finish on these, and it also matches nicely with the gloss black accents you'll see that run around the wheel arches as well as the lower parts of the vehicle itself. You also have the gloss black finish up here on our mirrors, which are loaded with a lot of different features of standard equipment. So you have blind spot monitoring, you have heating and power folding. If you want auto tilt down and puddle lamps, you'll have to get the Limited with the advanced technology package.
Now here at the side, like Drew said, this vehicle has a very sleek profile for an SUV to give you that very premium experience. As far as overall length, it's 194.1 inches long, which means it's about 2 inches shorter than the Crown Sedan, but it's about 2 inches taller. And as far as how that compares to other Toyotas, it's about the exact same length as a Toyota Highlander for reference. And I do like all the premium touches that they've done here, including the standard roof rails. Now, as we move around to the rear design of this Crown Signia, you're once again going to see that very premium design go on back here. So in terms of just the overall look, I do think it has a little bit of a more almost wagon shape to it. And then we do also have a very big spoiler up here at the top, an exposed rear wiper, and really the main design touch going through it would be your full-length LED taillights. These are a full LED setup, so you have your LED brake light, LED turn signal indicator, and then your reverse light is integrated down here in the lower bumper. And speaking of this lower bumper, all of this is going to be finished in a piano black, and the Crown Signia is rated to tow 2,700 pounds, which is worth noting because the Venza, which this model is replacing, was not rated to tow at all. So that's an improvement for this midsize SUV. Now, in typical Toyota fashion, they are including all of your safety systems as standard equipment on this Crown Signia. So their Safety Sense 3.0 suite is standard. However, you can option on a few extra goodies if you choose the Limited with advanced technology package. That's going to further throw in traffic jam assist as well as some Lexus-like goodies like front cross traffic alert. But guys, there's a Lexus-like interior that we need to check out, so let's go ahead and dive into that. But first,
if you're new here, we're brothers, and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We may be young, but we love cars.
And we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family. Let's learn a lot, have some fun with all the latest cars.
Now let's roll on to the interior. First, of course, we'll take a quick look at the key fob. This is the typical Toyota key fob. It does have Crown branding on it though, as well as smart entry as standard equipment. Digital key comes on the limited trim level. Just reach behind the handle, that will unlock the doors. And let's go ahead and look inside here at the interior. Like Mason was saying, it is a very premium cabin, certainly heading towards that Lexus level of luxury, and that starts out with the seats. So what Toyota has done, actually even compared to when this vehicle first was unveiled, is they've decided that all models, both the trims, deserve leather seats. So instead of having a cloth seat on the XLE, now you've got leather seats on XLE and Limited, both of them, and they both have the choice between black or a saddle brown. This, of course, is the black. It still looks very premium with all of the accents and stuff, but we got to see the brown yesterday, and I have to say that one there really seems to dial up the overall richness. The leather itself is nice and high quality. The seats are going to be 8-way power adjusting with 2-way lumbar support. We also have memory seats up there on the door trim. But let's go ahead, climb inside, and we'll get into the specific details of the cabin. Now that we're inside here, let's start with overall material choices. So over here on our door trim, we've got a full leatherette covering all through here, as well as the entire center section. The top part of the door trim will be a soft touch plastic. Moving to the upper part of the dashboard is a little chunk of hard plastic here. All the rest of it is going to be a soft touch material. Crowns, of course, have that signature bronze finish. That's something that carries on from the sedan here in the Signia. You'll see that across the vents as well as this interior accent. Leatherette runs through here, and we even have a pad down here along the console where our knee rests against. Everything fits together very nicely and feels super solid, as we expect for a Toyota Crown. Now, let's go ahead and fire it up with the standard push-button start. Now, like I said when I was talking about the exterior, since it is only available in two trims, the XLE and the Limited, you have a surprising amount of standard equipment. A lot of really nice things come on that XLE, including our 12.3-inch full digital gauge cluster. Most Toyotas make you kind of go up the structure to get that. You're going to get that as standard here with the Crown, and you can change the graphics and many of the things related to that. Do be aware, though, that a head-up display is not offered at this time. Now, as we pull back, if you choose the Limited, you will get rain-sensing wipers. And then we've got this nice leather-wrapped steering wheel with heating. Both of those things are going to be standard equipment on the Crown Signia. It is going to be manual, tilt, and telescoping as well. Now, let's take a look at our interior storage. There are several Lexus-like elements. This console that opens in both directions is pretty much straight from a Lexus product. And inside, you're going to find quite a bit of storage. So right now, it's loaded down with donuts because this is Car Confections. After all, we do the donut test. That is our emblem. And inside of this console, we have fit 10 donuts. So that's a pretty good performance for a crossover of this size. Up in front of that, we've got two cup holders. You have a little slot here where you can kind of, stick some loose objects. Two USB ports for charging. And then you've got this slot-style wireless phone charging pad. So you just stick your phone down in that hole there. This is standard equipment on both of the Crown trim levels. We also have a Lexus-like shifter here. It's the electronic style. Bump to the left and down for drive. You can also activate sport mode as well. And then if we do the opposite, that takes us into reverse. When you go into reverse, you'll be greeted with either the standard backup camera or this bird's eye 360 camera. You're going to get the 360 camera if you choose a Limited with advanced technology package. But as you can see, really nice resolution on board with this camera. Very crisp. Also, as you back up, you get that transparency mode as well. Then just press the P right there for park. You obviously have an electronic parking brake with brake hold as well. And then this is also the area where we have our drive mode controller. Now, as we carry on, we come up to our climate controls. So, nice standard features here as well. Dual zone climate is standard equipment. You adjust the temperature very easily with these toggles. This is also where you turn on and off your heated steering wheel as well, by the way. And then off to the side, you have 3-stage heated seats and 3-stage ventilated seats as standard equipment. That's a very nice feature to see, and both of those functions are automatic. Now, Toyota's been very good about maintaining physical controls for the things you use the most, including volume knob. So we've got a 6-speaker sound system with the XLE, a 11-speaker JBL sound system when you choose the limited trim. We're going to sample that system right now. Overall sound quality of this system is pretty good. It certainly fills up the cabin nicely. The only thing I have to complain about is the fact that the volume knob, if you want the thing to always be facing upwards, you have to make another lap there because it will actually rotate and be upside down, which kind of bothers me. Now, let's talk about the display. So again, we have the standard 12.3-inch display. This is running Toyota's latest software, which means you have built-in navigation. You also have built-in wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay abilities. And overall, the graphics and performance are quite nice. Now, as we move above here, we've got the auto-dim mirror with HomeLink remote, and this is also the digital camera system. So if you flip that switch on the Limited, you will get that camera feed. Another thing on the Limited trim that a lot of you guys will probably be looking for is this panoramic sunroof. As you can see, very large piece of glass. It does have the nice thick sunshade which blocks out the sunlight when you don't want it. The thing you need to be aware of though is the fact that this sunroof does not open. It's a fixed panoramic.
All right, so let's check out the rear seat of this all-new Crown Signia. Now, sitting back here, I just have to say, when you first come into this space, it's really quite large. It surprises you how much room you have. Now, Toyota did provide some official legroom and headroom figures. They're saying it's about 37 inches of legroom and about 38 inches of headroom. Although I honestly kind of disagree with those figures because it seems like there's a lot more legroom than 37 inches. And that's one of the reasons why here at Car Confections we bring our ruler along so we can see how much room there is with the seat adjusted to Drew, who's 5'8", and my own 5'9" stature. And look at how much room we have. That confirms my suspicions. We're sitting at about 9.5 inches in additional knee room, and my feet can slide up underneath the seat. So you're certainly going to be very comfortable in this Crown Signia. As far as the seat reclining, it does not recline, so do be aware of that. As far as features are concerned, if you see it, it's standard actually here in the rear. So we have standard vents. We also have 2 USB charging ports. Another thing that I really like that standard equipment is that you have heated rear seats. You'll see the button for that here on the door trim itself, but that is actually standard on both trim levels. So in addition to heated and ventilated front seats, you have heated rear seats, which I think is a very premium feature, that's for sure. We also have a fold-down center armrest with 2 cup holders inside. Continuing that trend of standard equipment, you do have a hands-free power tailgate across both trim levels of the Crown Signia. And let's check out the cargo specs. Now, in terms of cubic feet, we have about 26 cubic feet behind the second row. If we fold the seats down, which can easily be done with these little levers right here, I like that Toyota is giving you those levers. Give it a little bit of a push. That's going to expand it up to 69 cubic feet of maximum cargo capacity. Now, if you're keen with your numbers, you may realize that that's the identical maximum capacity of a Toyota RAV4, so that's going to be kind of what you're looking at in terms of space, which is a good amount, although it's not going to be any larger than that RAV4. One of the cool things about this Crown Signia, though, is that they're including this little piece right here. So if you'll come into the trunk, I will show you what this is. This is actually an extension to extend out the cargo floor. So Toyota says that it's 6.5 feet long from the seats to the rear of the cargo area, so that allows you to easily put in stuff like golf clubs, skis, all those things for your off-road adventures. And I do like that they have this extension piece because it does make it to where you can stack something up and not have to worry about it falling in between the crack there. Now, Car Confections, after all, we do have our tape measure, so I guess we're going to test out Toyota's 6.5 feet measure here and see how much space there is with the seat adjusted to someone who's 5'8". You know, I'm actually looking at over 6 feet, so yeah, about, a little over 6.5 feet. I guess maybe they measured it with someone a little taller than Drew. So you might even have upwards of about 7 feet of space. As far as the overall cargo width, for that we're sitting at about 42 inches. And then as far as cargo height is concerned, we're going to be sitting at 26 inches. So I would say the cargo height is going to be the thing you're going to be most disappointed about. But the cargo length and width is pretty impressive. Now underneath of the floor, all of this lifts up, and underneath you're not going to find a spare tire on this model. Well guys, here we are behind the wheel of the all-new 2025 Toyota Crown Signia. In this test drive, we're going to be talking about quite a few different things, as you can see on the screen right now, including getting our sound level reading at 55 miles per hour, so we can see how Lexus quiet this is. But first, we're going to go ahead and start with a hard acceleration.
All right, and that was 60 miles per hour with the Crown Signia. Pretty nice acceleration, certainly not slow by any stretch of the imagination. And with this model, what do we have under the hood? So we've got Toyota's 4th generation hybrid system. This is combining a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine with the hybrid electric componentry, and total output on the Signia is 240 horsepower. Toyota says this is good for 0 to 60 of about 7.1 seconds, which is, pretty average for a vehicle in this class. But, obviously what's going to be above average is the fuel economy when we talk about that.
Yeah. And I don't think the acceleration was bad by any stretch of the imagination. We've actually spent quite a bit of time in this Crown Signia, even though we're reviewing a lot of different Toyotas at this event. We spent more time specifically with this one, driving it for several hours. And I have to say, I am pretty impressed with the overall performance. I think most of you guys are going to be more than happy with it, especially in city driving. If you do like a full throttle acceleration off the cliff or something, you might have a little slower performance, but overall I think it's perfectly adequate for most buyers in this category.
Right, we were just climbing a really steep grade there, prolonged, and it really wasn't straining, being able to easily maintain speed going up that steep grade. And even after you're underway, you get pretty decent passing power as well. Now, the thing to remember about the Signia, though, is the fact that you don't have the Hybrid Max powertrain option. So with the Crown Sedan, you can upgrade when you get the Platinum to get the Hybrid Max. That gives you significantly more power, gives you a traditional 6-speed automatic transmission as well, and that really, really scoots. Unfortunately, you don't have that option with the Signia, and Toyota says they don't currently have any plans to offer that powertrain with the Signia. Nevertheless, I think it matches with this vehicle's mission fine, because this is going to be comfort focused and something that most people, I think, are going to be far more interested in getting good fuel economy versus having, a lot of power. Now, we've got some really good roads here in Southern California, and I think this is a good time to just go ahead and talk a little bit about dynamics with this Crown Signia. I have to say, both Mason and I are quite impressed by this. As we mentioned with the exterior, this doesn't have a tremendous amount of ground clearance, and that turns into a good thing when you're behind the wheel, because we're kind of lower profile, basically. It really handles quite nicely. Compared to the other Toyota SUVs, this is going to be a lot tighter of a feel, compared to a RAV4 or a Highlander, which is this kind of in between. This is going to be the sportier option for sure. The steering, you get a nice immediate response. It's still relatively light, for everyday driving, but you do have a good responsive feel, and everything here just, feels nice behind the wheel. So there's an acceleration from a stop, and it certainly gets off the line nicely with that instantaneous electric torque from the hybrid system. Now, in terms of other powertrain things to mention, this does have a eCVT as your transmission. You also have standard all-wheel drive. All this is going to be, working together quite nicely. It's a good and responsive feel as soon as you put your foot down.
But let's go ahead and talk about ride quality for this Crown Signia. This vehicle, like we've said multiple times, is kind of like a little bit of a Lexus for less because it's going for that luxury demographic. Now, one of the things I do want to point out about this ride quality is that it is very, very good. So, like I mentioned, we've driven this for several hours at this point, and when you hit a bump, it does a very good job of soaking it up. Even with the large 21-inch alloy wheels, I've been really nothing but impressed when it comes to the ride quality. I think this is a pretty significant step up over something like a RAV4, that's for sure. So very happy with it overall, and I'd say these seats are very comfortable as well, front and back.
Yeah, definitely, and this again has 21-inch alloy wheels because it's the limited trim.
Yeah, I also want to just go ahead and get into our airball and slam dunk, which is our least favorite element, our favorite element about the Crown Signia. Drew, do you want to kick us off with the slam dunk?
The slam dunk today is going to be our standard features on board. With the XLE, you really get a tremendous and surprising amount of standard features for the price, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. Is a pretty good price as well, in the low 40s. Things like a standard heated steering wheel, standard ventilated and heated front seats, standard heated rear seats. Those are things that really surprise. The technology is basically just comes standard with all the upgrades as well. I think you'll be really impressed with what you get at that price point.
Yeah. And on the airball side of things, what we're going to say is that we wish it was just a little bit larger, in terms of cargo capacity, because we have that sloped off roof line, a little bit sleeker of design. That's going to mean that you're really not going to have any more cargo capacity than something like a RAV4. So do keep that in mind. It's not going to be really any larger than something like a RAV4 in capacity terms, that's for sure. Now, we do have standard all-wheel drive on this model. Additionally, for your fuel economy, that means we only have one fuel economy variant because we only have one powertrain setup. It's 39, 37, 38. Now, this is a rating by Toyota. This is not from the EPA officially yet, but 38 mpg is very impressive for an SUV of this size with that much power. Definitely happy to see that fuel economy figure, that is for sure, and that's really the reason why Toyota is giving you that standard hybrid system, is to get you that really good fuel economy.
By the way, this is slated to go on sale in August, so at the time you're seeing this video, it's going to be on sale quite soon. So check your local Toyota dealership if you're interested. It should be on sale in the coming month.
And let's go ahead and get our sound level reading going, 55 miles per hour. We went ahead and put it on fan speed 1.
I have to slow it down here a bit.
54.6 is our official sound level reading, which I think is very, very impressive. And the reason I say that is because we're actually here in California on a media drive, so do keep that in mind. This is not our Kentucky sound level reading. However, that's a very good reference point, because typically the roads out here in the West are rougher, and 54.6, I believe is what it was, is very, very quiet for these rougher roads. But we don't have to sit here and guess, because we can actually go to carconfections.com/sound level readings, and on our website we posted all the sound level readings that we've done on this channel. So we review hundreds of cars every single year, and all those sound level readings land on our website, so you can see how this compares and how quiet this cabin is. Lastly, in terms of warranty, you have a 3-year 36 basic warranty, 5-year 60 powertrain. Additionally, you are going to get 2 years and 25,000 miles of complimentary maintenance. Now let's talk pricing. Now, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with this area, because it really doesn't cost that much more than a Toyota RAV4, especially if you choose the base XLE trim level. The XLE starts around 43 grand. The Limited starts at about 48 grand. Once you add in the paint color and the advanced tech package, we're sitting at 51,675 as tested today for a fully loaded up model. Now, if you're looking to buy a Crown Signia or any new vehicle, we would encourage you to go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes. Now, why you do that is because we have a tool on our website that will connect you with local car dealers in your area to get you the best price on your new vehicle. It's also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool for dealer negotiation. If you'd like to take advantage of that, a link is provided in our video description, and we also have a pinned comment at the top of this video. And now it's time for us to talk about predicted resale value and reliability. That's something that we're integrating into all of our reviews. So when it comes to Toyota, of course, they have a reputation for reliability. And as a matter of fact, Toyota is ranked as #1 when it comes to our combined reliability index, which takes into account a lot of different factors and sources of reliability information when it comes to automobiles. So certainly that's a big benefit for this new Camry. And when it comes to resale value, Toyota is ranked as the #2 option. So very impressive when it comes to resale value as well, in both the 5 and 10-year metrics. Now, if you're interested in learning more about our Car Confections resale value and reliability metrics, you can actually go to carconfections.com/resale and carconfections.com/reliability. And that's going to give you all of the information for all the different brands that you might be cross-shopping with. Certainly buying a car is a very big decision, so you'll want to check out our website for all the data on those. And guys, that's going to be where we leave off on this in-depth review of the all-new 2025 Toyota Crown Signia. If you enjoyed watching this video or found it helpful in your purchasing decisions, we would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below. By subscribing, not only are you going to gain access to more automotive content that I'm sure you won't want to miss out on, you're also going to be a part of our Car Confections family. We have a lot of fun on this channel and we want to welcome you in. If you're already a part of our family, thank you so much for your continued support, and we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.